Okay. Base level CoPilot is kind of like the other large language models. If you didn't go through the other modules when I was talking about the different frontier models, I said a couple of things, one of which being when you're first starting to use large language models, and even after a while, they're kind of all the same. Not literally. There are definitely preferences. The example I gave before was I used ChatGPT almost exclusively 2022 on. And then it wasn't really until this last spring, 2026, that I switched over to Claude. And I really like it. I don't use ChatGPT nearly as much as I use Claude now. So you will run into these preferences. If you want to know, just email me. I can tell you why I prefer Claude at this point, but that doesn't stop me from going back to ChatGPT, blah, 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 blah. So there's three major frontier large language models. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude from Anthropic, and there's Gemini from Google. Those are all their own large language model. CoPilot is often referred to as a large language model, and it's not. It is Microsoft's filter functionality on top of some other large language models. So Microsoft is, oh man, some of you might know more about this than I do. So correct me via email if you could. But Microsoft uses versions of ChatGPT and Claude, and those are what's doing the work behind the scenes while you're interacting with CoPilot. And then CoPilot is Microsoft's functionality on top of that. So it integrates with things like OneDrive and Outlook and Word and Excel and PowerPoint, those types of things. But it also has its own user interface. Here's the rub. I'm not 100% sure what Cascade has access to since I don't work there. So I'm going to give you two different, I don't know why I held up two like this. Rock and roll, man. Two different like videos here. We're going to go through CoPilot, the free version, just very quickly right here. And then the video on the next page is going to overview some CoPilot specific things that I recently learned about that are kind of cool. And I haven't really seen done quite as effectively in the other large language models. So on the left side of the screen here, that way, I don't know, I'm mirrored on my video. This is the free version of CoPilot. So I've actually got this pulled up on my personal Gmail over here on the left because I have access to the paid version, the business plan of CoPilot on my work account, which I will show you in the next video. So you can start up chats. You notice I don't use CoPilot on my personal, like ever. I'm more of a Google user, so I'm using Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT for when I'm bouncing between those few. But I've used CoPilot enough on my professional one, which you'll see in the next video. So if you want to pull up the chat, it's kind of like other large language models. You've got your access to voice mode. You can upload different files. You can generate pictures. So they've got their own image generation and stuff here. You can create like podcasts, like audio files on a given topic. I've got a better tool for that. It is a Google tool, but I'll show you that in another module. Notice the thing here, like deep research, like going through and exploring things. Notice the usage limits on these things. You can only create 3 of these before you have to upgrade your subscription, and there's only 5 instances of that deep research. It requires more tokens and more usage, and so if you're not on those paid versions, they limit your usage to that. You can also switch between the different models. Notice if you're on this one, like if you're on ChatGPT, you'll switch between 5 or 5.1 or 4.0. It's like they don't ask me the naming scheme. It's ridiculous and confusing. Here, they just have your descriptions because you're not actually switching between the models necessarily. You're switching between the models, but they're just giving you the functionality of what they can do. Like any other large language model, you type in here if you want to know more about prompting and how to engage with that. Module 3 is prompting. You can go and there's some information in the middle of the prompting module, and they'll give you some information. There's other stuff over here, like this is obviously in you can like get a preview of this, but this is going to be cost some more tokens. So you can see there's like some upgraded stuff here. So if you're seeing the free version, you'll run into some limits. One of the things that I am really excited about every time I see them in a large language model, and I put it down here, is projects. So essentially what a project is you can upload a whole theme of files. So I use this all the time in an AI tool called Perplexity, which is an AI powered search engine. And it allows you to upload, to like search different topics that are all kind of similar. So if I want to do something on UDL, I could upload a bunch of articles on UDL. I can get some links to different things on UDL, and it essentially creates your own little chat bot or room. And then I can ask it questions. And it will pull information from the resources I've curated. It's really, really cool. So if you are looking to play around with CoPilot, you have the free version, but you feel pretty good just about interfacing with the chat, so that just takes some practice. Check out projects. Imagine uploading all of your resources on a given unit, and then other research and activities and lessons, and then using that to curate this little like AI powered thought partner. You can ask it questions, get ideas, think outside the box. Pretty sweet. Projects, I think, is one of the most worthwhile things to be playing around with. Obviously, you've got these other pieces in here. This always gives me the heebie-jeebies, like using it to like understand your own health. It's one of the things we need to be talking to kids about. You should be going to doctors. You should be seeing mental health professionals. You shouldn't be augmenting your experience with that with AI tools. But play around with these. You're a responsible, critical thinking adult, and play around with some of these other integrations in here. So, I mean, that is one of the advantages that CoPilot has, is Microsoft is such a behemoth, and they have so many access to so many resources that's been integrated in here. So go ahead, explore this. This is the free version. The business and education paid version is going to be on the next page, and I'm going to spend that exclusively talking about CoPilot Teach, which is you may or may not have access to. More on that in the next page. But if you're looking for a place to start and you really want to explore, check out projects.